What's up everyone, Vu with NVU Films here, and I'm back with another video. And this time it is regarding my new gimbal, the Zhiyun Weebill Lab. Before I get started, I want to say that, take everything I say with a grain of salt. All of the stuff that I'm going to say is my opinion. So everyone's gonna have different opinions. Everyone has different preferences on type of equipment they like to use, the way they work, etc. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I know a lot of YouTubers out there these days, ones with big followings, have a tendency to have bias or actually not even use their equipment long enough, give opinions about it when they kind of give wrong opinions, don't set settings correctly regarding things. But anyways, like I always say about my videos, you probably won't learn anything here because I am sponsored by nothing. So I'm going to be more biased towards nothing, so I'm going to teach you nothing, okay? However, I do encourage you to visit my sponsoree, the company that I sponsor myself, which is Sony, because I give all my money to Sony. For all of those who have subscribed to my channel, like my videos, watch my videos, comment on my videos, I thank you so much. And to encourage more subscribership, more likes, more comments, I'll be doing a giveaway. And I'll be giving away, you heard it, a Canon EOS-R. So to enter, all you have to do is like, subscribe, get the notifications, comment, share this video, and make sure in the comments you put Canon color science is the best ever, hashtag Canon color science yo, hashtag soft footage is more pleasing to the eye, hashtag GTFO. Okay, and I know this is not a Canon EOS-R, this is actually my daughter's diaper, but I can guarantee you that there is a Canon EOS-R inside here. Okay, so do all those things I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and you'll be entered in to win the Canon EOS-R that is inside my daughter's diaper. Moving right along, so here I have the Zhiyun Weebill Lab. It is actually right now balanced with the Sony a7 III along with the Sony 1635 f2.8 G Master lens. Okay, and as another YouTuber has said, with this lens you cannot go all the way because the eye cup gets in the way when it's balanced. I'm going to try to figure out a way around this, but for my use, this is okay because the way I use the 1635mm is I press the trigger button on lock and I literally track it like this. All right, this is how I use this lens. Okay, the only time I use the trigger, the joystick, or going into the underslung mode with the gimbal is with different lens. So this for me is not a problem. I understand for some of you it will be a problem, so you would likely want to get another gimbal such as the Crane 2 or the DJI Ronin-S. And yes, I've used both of these extensively the past couple years. This one last year, and I used this one mostly this year. So I have some experience with these gimbals. The way I use my gimbals is probably a lot different than how other people use gimbals. People, like to use all controls, like to use a phone and stuff. I literally just like to slap my gimbal on I like to just slap the camera on my gimbal, start using it, okay? I just use it to get stabilized footage while walking. I don't do anything crazy with them, so that is why some of these extra features don't matter to me as it would matter to you, okay? Right now, this lens is quite heavy, so I have the motor setting at high to accommodate for the weight. So as you can see, it works pretty well. It's moving around. This is actually this is perfect for my use of gimbal. Some of you who need sports and stuff like that will probably want to gravitate towards the Ronin-S. If you're using ancient cameras like the 1DX Mark II, 5D Mark IV, these are Canons, so they're older technology. If you're using those old rocks, you know, this Ronin-S could handle those heavy rocks that are from Canon. You know, they're heavy, and you know, with their soft HD footage, it's fine. So I've already actually been able to, you know, I'm going to tell you that I have not used it extensively. I literally used it for about 10 minutes with my daughter while we were taking a walk outside, and it worked fine. Like the type of footage I want to get out of a gimbal, it worked to perfection, okay? It was smooth. You know, there's only jitters when I messed up, but if I'm concentrating and I'm trying to get a good shot, it will get a good shot for me. You know, the locks on each axis for the gimbal is very useful in terms of trying to get things balanced, and also to carry around, you know, when it's not in use. I think Zhiyun did a fantastic job with that design. So right now you can see I turn it off, gimbal is off, it's loose. Now if I want to, you know, let's say I'm at a wedding and I'm trying to like run around, trying to, you know, follow around the bride, I'm not filming at the moment, and I don't want this thing flailing around, I just lock all the axes. All the axes are locked. Now I just carry it around like this, and it's not going all over the place. It also helps with balancing. So like each time if I want to balance this axis, I unlock it, I balance this first while all the rest of it is locked. I finish balancing it, I'll lock it up, and then I'll balance this axis. You know, once it's done, I lock it up. So that's really good about, that is the one thing I really like about this gimbal, and the fact that it's so light compared to the Ronin-S, the Crane 2. You know, every gimbal has its quirks. You know, you can't just slap a camera on there, balance it, and start running around and, you know, expect to get like perfect footage. You have to like walk a certain way. You have to concentrate to make sure you get the shot. And when you do that, you're always going to get good footage with any of these gimbals, as long as, you know, the weight is correct, it's well balanced. One thing I did notice about the DJI Ronin-S is that every time I put in a new lens, I have to calibrate it on the app, or else it will start doing like this bounce like this. I actually have not calibrated the Weebill yet. I have not even updated firmware. I did not do anything. I literally just bounced the camera. I put the motor on high because I figured the lens is kind of heavy, and it worked. It worked fine, which I like. I like the simplicity of setting things up. One downside though is this is the type of plate I use for all of my setups, my tripods, monopods, and what I've been using on the Ronin-S. I have like this, I believe it's a Manfrotto 323 mount with the quick release plate and the mount. So, you know, I have this on the camera, I slap it on, bam, all done, and it's locked in place. And I would have that on the Ronin, but on the Weebill Lab, it's not too heavy for the gimbal, but it makes it too top heavy for balancing. So what happens is this portion of the axis does not go low enough to accommodate for the actual weight of the plate. So right now I just literally have it mount directly to the Weebill plate, which is going to be a problem. So right now I'm currently trying to figure out a workaround to somehow get this plate to work. I'll have to see what I could do, because I think for my use, this Weebill Lab is worth it. It's worth the trade-off of not being able to use this. You know, if I end up not being able to use this at all, it is worth the trade-off versus carrying around something like a Ronin-S or a Crane 2, when this small gimbal, this small light gimbal could handle the setup that I need to get the footage that I need, whether it be for weddings, for travel, for family. As you can see in the test footage that I did for my daughter, I used it in the underslung mode, which is what I'm going to be using it on most of the time because it just feels amazing. So, you know, you put this here, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to buy another tripod, probably a smaller one. I'm going to put it here at all times. I don't always have this here, so I could use the gimbal like this, and I'll carry it around, you know, gigs like this, instead of like having to like carry it around like this, and it's all like flailing around everywhere. It always has to be on. You know, I'm still going to keep the Ronin-S for like certain things if I need to do big stuff, but for weddings, for run and gun situations, like this is going to do the job. Like, you know, I'm all about trying to keep things simple and easier to work with, and this does exactly that for me. So, long story short, I will probably be switching over to using the Weebill Lab most of the time for all my gigs, and personal wedding stuff. And unless I have something really big to deal with, then I do have a Ronin-S as a backup. But as far as I'm concerned, for my use, for what I use gimbals with, this is more than enough. And I'm actually trying to minimize the overuse of gimbal, like a lot of the things I see out there, which, you know, it's not really a problem. That's your style, that's great. It's really not mine. I am trying to minimize using the gimbal for no reason. But anyway, that was just quick and dirty thoughts on the Weebill Lab. You know, my primary issue was just this plate. You know, I would like to go more in depth with everything in the future. Like I said, I've only had this for a couple days. I've used it once for like 10 minutes. And just from that, and just from my experience with using multiple different gimbals, I mean, I use a Crane M, Crane version 1, Crane 2, Ronin-S. Back then I used DS1 Beholder, and now I have the Weebill. So I have some experience with using these gimbals, and this is going to work. The Weebill is going to work fine. You know, there's really nothing crazy negative to say about it. You know, I mean, maybe it could be a little bit cheaper. Maybe it's $600, but if you're a baller, shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, if you liked this video, please give it a like, a subscribe. Let me know your comments. I'll try to answer them. Any other video suggestions, let me know. Thank you for viewing, and until next time, lighten up.